easily one of the biggest epic failures in business of all time is wanting to provide a product and service to an audience that you do not understand. And this even gets deeper than not understanding the audience. It goes as deep as not understanding human psychology in general. If you don't understand human psychology, do you realize that you're going to find it harder to attract people, harder to get followers, harder to get people interested in what you have? People say, well, nobody's liking my stuff, or nobody's following me, or nobody's viewing, or nobody's joining my trainings, or nobody's opting in. I'm not getting leads. I'm not booking appointments. I'm not getting clients. My people are not staying. My team is not respecting me. Do you realize most of the issues that you face when it comes to people comes down to human psychology? So especially when it comes to your advertising, if you don't study, and look, I'm not a psychologist, by the way. I'm not licensed. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not claiming that I know everything in the world. I went to school for engineering. So that wasn't even, which is like the opposite of psychology. It's very technical, it's very logical, it's very, right? But I picked up fairly quickly that when I decided that I wanted to really start taking business seriously, I said, I want to focus on what I can do to understand how to connect with people more. Because when you understand how to connect with people, when you understand what gets people to take action, when you understand how to motivate somebody or inspire somebody to change for good, anything good does have a flip side, right? Anything. So, obviously the things that we're going to talk about today in this training, especially when it comes to cognitive biases and applying it in your advertising, which stick around because I'm going to walk you through specific cognitive biases that's very powerful to dramatically increase your conversions when it comes to your advertising and your marketing efforts. So I'm going to share that with you. Let me say this. This is so powerful. Only use it for good. I'll tell you, if you don't use this for good right now, something detrimental is going to happen to your business, right? Or to you, right? So be very mindful that what we're getting ready to talk about with these cognitive biases, that is very powerful. All right. But you can use it as a force for good to transform the lives of your clients. But you can use these cognitive biases to get yourself to take action. And this is something that impacts all of us. None of us are immune to these cognitive biases. All right. So I've been talking a lot about it. Right. So we're going to get to it in a second, but this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to walk you through, not all of them. I have about 25 cognitive biases that I go to, but this is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to go through all of them because this will be a super, super long training. Right. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go through some of the most impactful ones. I'm going to explain what it is. Some of these have technical terms to it. So I'm going to explain what it is. And I'm also going to explain how you're going to use it in your advertising in order to help move people to action. Anchoring bias. So anchoring bias is pretty much where you present. A lot of it is around presenting the highest price thing first. So it anchors you to pay a higher price. So let me explain what this means, right? So basically the definition says, present the most expensive option first to make the subsequent options more affordable. We see this all the time, right? Where you'll be presented with multiple options and you'll see something that might be super expensive, but the super expensive thing is not really what they want you to buy, believe it or not. You would think that. That's not necessarily the thing that they want you to buy like that. They know some people will, but that's not going to be most people. Regardless of what it is, most people will not get the most expensive thing. However, depending on how much the most expensive option is, the second most expensive or the third most expensive option seems a lot more palatable based on how much the first option is. You know what I'm saying? So when you're offering or you're presenting, this is more like in a presentation setting, or maybe you're doing consults, or maybe you're presenting somewhere where you're showing people prices. What the anchoring bias says is that people are willing to pay more for your product or service if you present them first with a higher price option. So let me make this even more practical for you. Have you ever tried to sell your product or service, but you was nervous if people would be willing to pay for it? You ever been nervous? Like, damn, I don't know. This might be too expensive for them, right? You counting people's pockets, right? I don't know if they can do it. This might be too expensive, right? So what does that do? It's active to offer them this product or service, right? Well, what if you presented that higher price and that made it more palatable for the price that you actually want them to pay? All right. So that's what we call the anchoring bias, and you can use that. Another one is what we call confirmation bias. Definition of this says provide data. It provides data and research that supports and benefits your product or service, reinforcing the customer's existing beliefs and assuring them that they're making the right decision. So here's what's interesting about this, right? So if you use confirmation bias, what that basically saying is that anything that you want people to believe, show them research, show them data, show them something that supports what you're saying. That's going to make what you're saying more believable. So when you do this in your advertisings, guess what? It will be great in the video, or maybe in the primary text or the copy, or somewhere when they consume, even if it's the landing page or somewhere where talk about some data. You can do this in your regular content. You can do this in your reels. You can do this in your training programs. You can do this anywhere that you're educating and or teaching people. It makes what you're saying more believable when you can provide facts and data and evidence based on what you're saying. Can you provide research? Can you show I'll give you an example. So I've done trainings before and even posts, regular Facebook posts, where I'll show people I'm not just out here. I don't just know a lot about Facebook ads. You know what I'm saying? Like, they paid advertising. Like, you see me teaching and training about this a lot. I'm not just a guy that just did a bunch of research on this. Like, I can show you factual data and evidence. I can show you which I have done, screenshots inside of my campaign ad manager, inside of Facebook, where I've showed you the tens and tens and tens of thousands of leads that I've generated for one of our campaigns inside of Facebook. That's evidence. You're like, oh damn, now my man is legit. Like, he's showing real screenshots. Like, he's showing real account information, right? I've shown my Stripe accounts before in trainings and videos, how much I've made in a week or a month or whatever, right? I've shared that before. I've shared screenshots of some of our clients and some of the results that they've got in terms of what they get in terms of ads. I've shared real testimonials of people saying that they've generated $10K a month or $28,000 a month, or et cetera, right? So I'm sharing. These is not something that I'm just saying to you. I'm showing you evidence and facts and data of people who are getting these results. So what is that going to make it? That's going to make it more believable. That's going to make it more believable. We call this a cognitive bias because, sometimes you can see certain things and you automatically just, take it for fact, right? But that's how we make decisions. Like, that's how we make decisions as human. Like, we need to, all right, show me some evidence. That's why we want to see testimony. So that's why I said it's not a bad thing. But if you have bad intentions, you can probably find facts and data to support the bad intentions. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, all of this stuff is very powerful. But when you're using facts and data, use it in a way that's going to empower somebody to make a decision that's going to help them at the end of the day. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, go ahead and put "makes sense" in the chat. That's why this stuff is like super powerful. They have another one that's called loss aversion. This is the common one that we see all the time. We see loss aversion everywhere we go. Loss aversion, definition is it offers limited time promotions or exclusive deals to create a sense of urgency to encourage customers to act before they miss out on savings or benefits. So this is where you see last day discounts, right? This is where basically you're offering some type of incentive that they're going to lose. That's why they call it loss aversion. Some type of incentive that they're going to lose if they don't take action, right? So that's a cognitive bias, right? If you take something away from somebody, if somebody's going to lose something, they're way more willing to take action than if you said that I'm going to give you something. It's interesting. Telling somebody they're going to lose $1,000 versus gain $1,000, you'll be surprised that more people would put energy towards losing the $1,000 than actually doing what they need to do to gain the $1,000. Make sense? All right. So that's what we call loss aversion. This one is they call it the scarcity effect. Scarcity effect is like when you have limited availability, limited addition to increase the perceived value of the thing that you have, right? So this is where you see people who wait. I'm saying you see this all the time. This is when you see, like, you ever been to anything like the club? You ever been to a club or a lounge? You ever been to a club or a lounge and you've been waiting online for so long? And I've done this for a long time, especially going to college, right? Where you damn near going to a party or a club every weekend, right? And during the time I didn't really understand, but I'm like, damn, they got everybody waiting outside. You know, it might be cold, it might be raining, it could be whatever, but they have everybody waiting outside. And you know what the crazy part is? Inside the club is completely empty. And it's not like they cleaning up, they sweeping. It's not even like they're doing something because that they have to prep for before everybody comes in. You know what they're doing? What they're doing is they're allowing the line to build up to build the anticipation of something else that I'm getting ready to share with you. Actually, which is the next one, is social proof. So they're building up social proof. They're building up the social proof. I see all of these people online. This must be popping. Let me go to this club. That's social proof. But scarcity says, oh, hold on. We only you got to wait for somebody to come out before you go in. Scarcity says, do you have a ticket? Scarcity says, are you VIP? Right? You feel what I'm saying? Like, scarcity is everybody can't get access to this. It's like exclusivity. Right? So that's what the scarcity effect is. It's like everybody can't get this. Only certain types of people can get it, or if it's certain conditions, or you feel what I'm saying. So, but you can use that. You can use it to your advantage in business, right? Maybe you only want 10 clients or 5 client high ticket or whatever clients, right? Or maybe whatever. Maybe there's an event, and I've done many events before where I didn't want hundreds of people or thousands of people at my event. I only wanted to do it like a mastermind feel, like 5-10 people. So guess what? I can use the scarcity effect. Because that's what I want anyway. So why not leverage this cognitive bias and say, yo, this is an exclusive event for only certain types of people who or who's willing to pay this price, or who's worked with me for a year, or who has this type of thing going on in their business. Or you feel what I'm saying? And you create the criteria.